This video note demonstrates how to test your web pages for valid HTML with the W3C's markup validation service. The W3C provides a free markup validation service referred to as the W3C HTML validator at validator.w3.org. The service checks your HTML code for syntax errors. When a web page uses valid HTML syntax, it will be rendered and displayed more quickly by the browser. We'll use the web page file design.html for our example. You'll find a file similar to this in the student files. This page includes a header section with an H1 element, a content section with an unordered list, and a footer section. Here's the source code for design.html. The logo header text is contained within an H1 element. Next, an unordered list contains 4 items. The first phrase of each list item is configured with strong tags. The footer section contains copyright information displayed in small font size. Let's access the W3C validator and check the syntax of the design.html web page. Display validator.w3.org in a browser. There are 3 validation options. Use the Validate by URI option to check a page on the web. Use the Validate by File Upload option to upload a file for validation from your computer. Use the Validate by Direct Input option to type or copy and paste code to be validated. We'll check the design.html file. Select the Validate by File Upload tab. Select the Browse button. Navigate to your folder, select the file, and select Open. Select the Check button to run the W3C markup validation service and check the syntax of your file. The result page appears. A green horizontal bar with the message, "Document checking completed. No errors or warnings to show" displays. This means your web page syntax is valid HTML5 code. Now that you've seen the process of testing a page with the W3C validator, let's introduce some errors in the web page code and try testing again. I'm going to delete the first closing strong tag. Next, save the file. When you display the page in a browser, you can see the effect of deleting the first closing strong tag. Everything after the first opening strong tag is bolded. Let's see what the W3C markup validation service at validator.w3.org tells us. Select the Validate by File Upload tab. Select the Browse button. Navigate to your folder, select the design.html file, and select Open. Select the Check button to run the W3C markup validation service and check the syntax of your file. Recall that we only changed one tag, yet there are multiple errors listed. Don't worry about the number of error messages. Multiple error messages are often displayed after a single error occurs. Focus on the first error message. The first error message indicates end tag for li seen, but there were unclosed elements. The error messages will often point to a line that follows the actual error. So you have to use your critical thinking skills. The error messages let you know that something is wrong. It's up to you to figure out what it is. This would be a good time to carefully check the code at line 10 and above. Look for anything out of place. A good place to start is to check the container tags and make sure they're all coded in pairs. In this case, we know that the missing closing strong tag is the problem. Edit the design.html web page and replace the missing closing strong tag. Save the file. Display the design.html file in a browser. It looks as expected. Access validator.w3.org and test the file again with the W3C markup validation service. The message, "Document checking completed, no errors or warnings to show" displays. Congratulations, the page is valid. It's good practice to validate your web pages. Browsers display valid code in a more efficient manner, which results in faster loading web pages.